Welcome back to Behind the Box. Today we are going to be discussing our hardest cooperative games. So these are games that we have either never beaten or we lose far more than we win.
So up first is Escape the Dark Castle. Now this is a game that we have featured on our channel several times and we have discussed its difficulty already. But if you're not familiar, Escape the Dark Castle is a narrative game where the players will take on the roles of prisoners trying to escape a castle. They'll have to contest with a bunch of cards that are really challenging obstacles to overcome, or tough choices to make, or fights that you've got to try and win. And at the very end, you need to try and defeat the castle boss. Now, everything pretty much in this game is driven by dice, which means it's a lot of luck that goes into this game, which makes it really, really challenging. But it doesn't feel bad to lose to the dice rolls in this, because it feels like it's part of the story. Mm-hmm. And you do feel like you make choices, good or bad, that can result in you either winning or losing, usually losing the game. Yeah.
But you do come away with a great story afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, you'll find that it starts out really, really hard. I mean, it took us 10 tries probably before we actually won after we got this game. And that's because you will gradually get more and more familiar with the room cards that come out, the kind of choices that you will be having to make, and also the different items that are available to you. So as you become more familiar with this stuff and you know how they work well together, you will be a bit more successful, a bit. And that's when you can start adding in the expansions. So you can get things like curses that will make you a little bit less efficient.
Just a little bit less efficient, yeah.
And then plague cards as well. So you might just be dying as we're playing along. So these are things that add variety and keep the game difficult. And it already is difficult. So why would you want to play this?
The story, I think, is the main thing. Now, there's no actual story in the game because it's all randomized, but the story that develops as you play the game and every time you play it will be a different story, and people will come away with a different memory. And it's a reason that people, when we played it with them, just want to keep playing it over and over again. And it actually reminds me a lot of roguelike video games. So I've been playing Risk of Rain 2 a lot recently, which I've been having a lot of fun with. And the first few times you play it, you won't do very well and you'll fail, but then you'll realize why you've messed up and what killed you. And then you'll play again and you'll get a little bit further. That's just like this game. You learn and you adapt and you figure out what works and what doesn't, and what synergizes and what doesn't, and when to use certain equipment and items and when not to. So when you do eventually get a victory in this game, it feels so satisfying, and then you just want to try again with a different boss and with different item cards and with different characters, and it's just amazing fun.
Yeah, it is. Now, our next game, we have actually talked about on this channel. We did a playthrough of it. It's Ghost Stories. Now, in Ghost Stories, you'll be playing as monks, defending a town from waves of undead attacking from all directions.
And focus is so important in this game. You have to be productive. You have to make decisions as a team that work right now. It's very, very crucial to success in this game. And we've only ever beaten this game once.
Yeah, we lose it a lot because it's so hard.
Yeah.
So why do we keep playing it? We love it for the same reasons that we love Spirit Island. It requires good cooperation, and we love that. We love planning ahead, looking for areas of weakness around the town, and using those limited resources that we have to combat whatever's happening in all directions.
Yeah, and it always feels like an uphill battle in this game.
You have 20 things you want to do, and you can only do one of them.
Yeah, and it's from the start as well. That's what's so crazy. You're immediately just in the fray. Again, there's nice variety in the game because everyone has different powers. There's 10 different variations on the end boss that you've got to try and defeat. So you're never really quite sure how to end the game. You're not sure how to get ready for it. You just have to do your best. And it's just a lot of fun again.
Yeah, and hard.
And very, very difficult. Our last choice here and our last game is a game that we have never beaten. I've actually played this game a lot solo, and I've never beaten this game, and that is Space Hulk Death Angel. Now, in Space Hulk Death Angel, you'll take on the role of Space Marines working through a dungeon littered with aliens trying to kill you. It uses a really interesting corridor idea, so positioning your Space Marines in the correct places is really important. even down to which direction they're facing. Because Space Marines can only shoot things that are within range of them and in the direction that they're looking. So you've got to be really careful that they don't get ambushed from behind as well. If you can make it to the end of the game and get to the last room and then complete the final objective, you'll win.
Oh, you won't win. You will get overrun by aliens. Your Marines will drop like flies. Your survival is basically decided by a dice roll. Your actions are so limited. You can support each other or attack, but whatever you do this turn, you can't do next turn. So it's so hard to plan in advance for the unknown. This game is so brutal. It's even too hard for me to have any fun with it. I don't know how you play this game. You end up having to play it solo. So why? Why do you do this to yourself?
Because this game is epic. It doesn't take very long at all to play. There's not a lot of like mental capacity that you need to apply to it. It's pretty easy going once you know the rules, which are admittedly complicated to learn. But the amount of enjoyment you get from this game, or at least I get from this game, is so high. It's like watching a movie about this ragtag group of Space Marines in a last-ditch effort to make it out of the locations that they're stuck, truly outnumbered. Some of my fondest gaming memories are playing this game with some of my friends, where everyone had their chance to be this epic Space Marine hero. And when they eventually fall, you actually feel bad. You know, like, it just feels epic to play. And it's just so impressive in such a small box with such simple ideas, how much like of that comes through for me when I play it. I really, really enjoy this game. Yes, it's brutal, and I've yet to win, even after playing it for probably 3 years or so now, or maybe even more. But it's just so good. That's the reason that I love this game so much. I know you don't like it because it is very difficult.
It is so hard.
Yeah.
Really frustrating.
It is, but it's just, for me, it's such an impressive game.
Well, that's it. Those are the top 3 hardest cooperative games that we own. Most difficult for us to beat. We almost always lose them. So, would we recommend these games? Don't know. I mean, if you're a sore loser, just stay away.
That's true.
Don't play these games because they will only frustrate you. And I also wouldn't recommend that you play them with any newcomers to board games. Maybe start with something more like Pandemic or Forbidden Desert. That will be just a little bit more friendly for them.
Yeah, these are not the games that we introduce board gaming to new people with. They are very brutal, and it can just make people feel, I didn't really get to do much, and I died, especially when you're learning stuff. So if you want to know more about those games that we mentioned, any videos that we've done on any of them, I'll link those down below in the description. I think we've got Let's Plays for a couple of them and a review as well, so we'll leave those down below, as well as the Board Game Geek links to them. Do you have any incredibly difficult games that you really love playing? Let us know in the description down below, in the comments down below, what those games are and why you enjoy losing to those games. But until the next one, we'll see you soon.
Bye. We just have never... Wait.
You'll win.
Sorry. No, you won't. That was really hard. There's so many words.
There was a lot of words.
A lot of words.
It was one of the smaller paragraphs, but there's a lot of words there.